Nancy. I'm from St. Michael's College in Vermont, USA. Could I get a sense of how many people are attending this besides my...
Kevin?
Yes.
Kevin, 1 second, huh? Just
Hello.
1 second, yeah.
Okay.
Kevin, good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Thank you very much for making it so early in your morning time.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have students in the room, and also we have students joining in the webinar from different locations of India.
I have about half an hour, you said?
Yes.
Or
So you
45.
half an hour presentation, and then the students get a chance to ask you questions for 15 minutes.
Okay, and how will they ask questions? Through the chat?
If they are in the room, they can ask through me. If they are online, we have a messenger. They can ask me through those messenger.
Can you tell me what is...
So can you hear me, Kevin?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So
can you...
Please go ahead.
Would you tell me what is visible on your screen right now?
We can see your screen. Yes, we can do that. We are able to see it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see. Very good. Okay.
Yeah. So you can start the presentation.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kevin Spenceley. I'm from St. Michael's, and I'm here to tell and I know there are a lot of choices when you're choosing a university. Not only do you have to choose what country you're going to study in, but if you choose the United States, you're going to have to choose between two kinds of undergraduate universities. One is a research-based comprehensive university, and the second is liberal arts. My university, St. Michael's College, is a liberal arts university. And I'll try to move forward. So I want to make it absolutely clear. Colleges and universities both are a bachelor degree. Both provide 4 years of, both take 4 years of study. Both offer many different subjects. In the United States, you may know we call those majors of study. The subject is a major because it's your major field. And both kinds of colleges and universities, of course, have varying levels of prestige and value. And of course, there are many, many, many choices. With universities, as you can see, they tend to be larger, 5,000 or more students. Usually the emphasis, a large emphasis for the professors to do is to work on research and indeed on graduate. The class that you will university are more than 200 students, 300 or 400. The difference with liberal arts colleges is that when professors decide to become a professor, they those who decide or know that they want to interact with students, they want to be teachers, they tend to choose a liberal arts college like Michael's. The classes tend to be rather small, and it is the professors that teach them and not postgraduate students. So these are some of the differences between colleges and universities. This would never happen at my institution at St. Michael's College. A gigantic classroom with 2 or 3 or 100 students. I'm not sure where that is, but it's no doubt a very, very large university where the professor stands at the front of the room and gives a speech. Our kind of universities are more like this. This is what they look like. This is a kind of typical size class. They tend to be 16 people in a class, And as you can see, there's a very nice discussion going on where everybody participates in a truly give and take, where the professor works very closely with each student. At my particular college, I want to talk to you about it. We have just under 2,000 students. About 500 are postgraduate students, and international at any one time are about 180. We are known for our success, the success of our graduates. I will just say a few things that are very successful. At 6 months after graduation, 100% of our students last year were either working at their first job or they were in postgraduate school. We also know we're successful because our retention rate, that is the number of students who come for the first year and stay for the second to end up graduating, is at 90%. This is the level of the Ivy League. I'm sure you've heard of the Ivy League, Harvard and Stanford and Yale. Well, we are not in the Ivy League, but we do have the same percentage of students who appreciate it so much that they want to stay here for the second year. We teach the liberal arts, which means we provide a very deep education in your field or your fields, your major field of study, but we also provide a broad education. Issues and problems are looked at from more than one perspective, and by the same token, students have a much broader education where they learn their one field, but they learn other subjects. For example, a philosophy or a political science student would learn something about the sciences, and a science student in the physical sciences would learn a little bit about arts. And that way, when they graduate, they are truly educated in the ways of the world. This is an approach to education that is similar to Harvard undergraduate and indeed Yale undergraduate. At residential, students live on campus all 4 years of their campus, and we also, every college has an ethos or a character, which is something else you should, when choosing a university, you should try to understand. I will just say briefly that the ethos, or one of the qualities and characteristics of St. Michael's College, is that a lot of people who go here tend to want to learn how to participate actively in the community around them. They believe that the world is larger than just them, and they want to learn how to participate in that larger world. This is where we're located. I can tell you it's one of the most beautiful. It is definitely one of the safest places in the United States. In northern New England, about 150 kilometers south of Montreal and about 350 kilometers north of Boston, Massachusetts. That gives you a sense of what we look like from the air. That's a freshwater lake in the background. As you can see, it's a very green and lovely place. Excuse me. We are known around the world. We're ranked 99th of the best national liberal arts colleges, so that's top 100. It's certainly prestigious and considered a very fine education. As I spoke a little about liberal arts, I want to kind of revisit this subject a little bit. Liberal arts is not liberal necessarily, and it is not the arts. What it is you learn a lot about something and something about a lot. As I said, some students learn a very deep knowledge in their subject, but a broad knowledge as well. At the same time, every course is infused with skills that leaders and managers are said to need by their employer. These are things like critical thinking, communication, working in teams. I will just say that right now in the United States, less than 10% of all American students are attending a liberal arts college. But the executives in Fortune 500 companies, in the United States, 30% of them are graduates of liberal arts colleges. So as you can see, there is most certainly a very good return on your investment by attending a liberal arts college. Our majors, our 36 majors, are across the board, as they say. Everything from business and media studies and journalism and political science, the STEM subjects, of course, with a very nice pre-medical program. Also, we offer what I think of as sort of comprehensive or combined fields: environmental studies, environmental science, neuroscience, which are truly subjects that are looked at from more than one perspective. As I said, after graduation, 100% of our students are either working in their first job, or they are on their way to postgraduate school. At an academic school like St. Michael's College, it's quite common, and indeed it is the case with us, that within 5 years, 50% or more than 50% are attending postgraduate school, which we call graduate school in the United States. So when I say postgraduate school or graduate school, that means the same thing. I will also say that a couple of years ago, we commissioned the Gallup Company to do a survey with all of our alumni, those that have graduated one semester or a few months ago, and those that graduated 50 years ago, and everyone in between. And they agreed to survey our students on their satisfaction with their career, on basically their long-term success. And that is defined as how? Well, they define it as success with your career, certainly, belonging to a community, social and family interaction, financial, are you wealthy, and are you healthy? And if you are successful in all of those aspects, you will tend to be very successful in life. And our university came back as saying 4 out of 5 of those subjects are very successful. In fact, they beat most graduates across the United States. So I will say the one area where we were a little bit behind some other schools was wealth. And that's not because some of our students don't graduate and go work on Wall Street or make a lot of money in banks or businesses. Remember, a lot of our graduates are teachers, or they end up working for non-government organizations or politics, where they frankly do not make quite as much money as their former friends and colleagues in the banking and the finance sector. Also remember, St. Michael's College graduates students who believe in participating actively in their community, and that sometimes means that they look for careers. Some of them look for careers where a large salary is not as important as feeling like you are doing something for the world. Just a picture of our campus, get a sense of what we look like. This is in late October, I would say, early to late October. To give you a sense of who applies for our university, as you can see, 50% of our applicants are in the top 25% of their high school class. So that gives you a sense of that our students have demonstrated an ability and a passion for learning. And I wrote here 50% between 80 and 90 on their transcripts. So think of that to mean 80 to 90%. And certainly we provide things like credit for IB and A levels and AP classes. Some more pictures of our studies on campus. And the 5 reasons that students choose St. Michael's College, and if any of these reasons seem compelling to you, I encourage you to give St. Michael's College some thought. And the 5 top reasons they choose St. Michael's and the 5 reasons they like it is because they want to go to a place where they know they will be successful, they'll be challenged academically and successful after graduation. St. Michael's has a reputation and is known for that. Second of all, they want to go to a place that has a liberal arts approach, where, as I spoke, the classes are smaller, they're taught by full professors, and it's a broad and deep education rather than simply a deep education. The third reason is they want to live in a beautiful place, and indeed, Vermont is a beautiful place. They buy into the idea of going to a smaller university where everyone knows each other, and they like the access to professors who have truly dedicated their lives to interacting and teaching students. And this is a perfect example of a student interacting with a professor on our campus. This is quite a common sight, having a chat over some ketchup. Naturally, we consider experiential learning, which includes internships, a very important part of the experience at St. Michael's College. And we have a career office that helps students to find internships at a wide variety of employers. I want to give you a sense of where we're located. On one side of our campus is beautiful, lovely, clean, and fresh nature. On the other is an absolutely charming city, which is known to be a very, very popular university town or city. 3 universities are in our town, so lots of cafes and restaurants and shops and things like that. About 100,000 people live in this city. This gives you another view of Burlington, Vermont, with the freshwater lake in the city and the mountains in the background. This does happen in the wintertime. Every 3 months the seasons change. This is wonderful winter, and we will teach you how to ski if you would like to. That's certainly a part of the experience. Not necessary if you don't want to. As I said, we are a residential university where everyone lives on campus all 4 years, anywhere from a traditional university lifestyle their first year, and as they become upperclassmen, they live with friends or alone in apartment or flat style living that have their own kitchens. Like most universities, we have plenty of clubs and opportunities because academics is not everything at a school like ours. So plenty of academic clubs, and then of course dancing or singing or photography, and lots of chance for, again, participating in the community, and so on and so forth. And athletics abound with competition at the varsity or very top level where you compete with other universities. But for the people who are less competitive and simply like to play, there are clubs and intramurals, or you could just go to the basketball court or the volleyball court or splash in the swimming pool. This is a sense of our student center at St. Michael's College on a lovely kind of late spring evening. Again, this happens every once a year for about 3 months. We have a lovely winter time. Give you a sense of the changing seasons. Here's some examples of our fitness center and some of the things students do when they're not in classes. We do offer programs in the arts, both the visual and the performing arts. There's an example of someone painting. And again, our ethos is very much, one of our ethoses is students come to St. Michael's College because they want a wonderful education and prepare themselves for a successful life, but also because some of them want to learn how to participate actively in a community, and they believe that, and they may have internships at NGOs or practice building houses for poor people, and so on and so forth. We do offer scholarships for undergraduate students, up to 50% of tuition, and they are available for everybody. Okay, and to be considered for a scholarship, you just need to apply. Typical college scene before the classes start. I'm not going to talk about academic English as you're from India. I'm not going to dwell on this, but for students who do have a little trouble writing English or need to improve their writing, we have plenty of opportunities for that, and a very robust academic English program for credit. Here's more samples of our students. We require an application and transcripts with a short personal statement. We do not require the SAT or ACT, and we do not require it for scholarships either, but you are welcome to submit it if you would like. As a matter of fact, we still have places available for fall 2017, and if you'd like to apply for St. Michael's College this spring, we will tell you within 1 or 2 weeks whether you are admitted, and we will tell you what your scholarship is, and that is for, again, fall 2017 admission intake. Happens again. All right, so that is my presentation. I'd be happy to questions about St. Michael's College, about liberal arts, or if you'd even like about anything at all. I'm even willing to talk about politics if you've heard things going on in the United States. Thank you very much for your attention.
Kevin, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The session is now open for questions from the room as well from the online participants. Online
Wonderful.
participants, please submit your question. Any question here? Okay. Okay, so one question we have here, Kevin.
Yes.
So can you please let us know a little more detail about the tuition fees for the programs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The tuition tuition at St. Michael's College is about $42,000 per year, and the cost for room and board is about $10,000 a year. That said, so that is a total of what we call a comprehensive cost. That said, we will provide scholarships of up to $22,000 a year. So that will bring the total tuition in $35,000 per year, and scholarships are renewable each year. So you can understand total cost will be between $30,000 and $35,000 US dollars per year. Includes tuition and room and board and fees.
Sure. So I have another question here. Yeah, the second question is, do you offer any 2+2 program, meaning the students here in India complete 2 years of their course here and then they do the credit transfer to your college and complete the entire program in 3 to 4 semesters? Do you offer something like that?
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, we do accept credit transfers from foreign universities. We are generally quite liberal with the credits that we offer. The general rule is that we will offer credits in subjects that are also offered at St. Michael's College, and students may not, of course, have failed the course. They must have higher than a C or higher in the American system. So I'm sorry, the answer to the question is yes, we will accept your credits from the Indian or third country university.
Right, okay. So do you use the Wells or somebody's service for this evaluation for their transcripts?
We ask students to have their transcripts assessed by WES or EC, any of the companies. But that said, I know that takes sometimes a month to receive the credit transfer. So if you would like to just send us an official copy of your university transcripts, we will look. I will pass them along to the registrar, and the registrar will give you an estimate of how many credits will transfer. And I have never seen our registrar wrong on that estimate. And that will take about 2 days.
Okay.
And then he will tell you, he will transfer, and then later on, for formality, you will submit your transcripts to an agency like WES or ECE.
Sure, sure. Yeah, thank you. And
You're welcome.
another question we have is when will be the cutoff date for this fall intake?
June 1st.
June 1st. Okay.
And the website on the top of the page that you can see right now is where you can log in and download an application or submit an application online.
Sure. Okay. Online participants, any other question? Okay. So Kevin, I don't think there is any other question from the participants as of now.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. If you do have questions, you can certainly contact me, or you may look at the website for our contact information.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It was a very early session for you. Thanks for being able to make it.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone.
You have a wonderful one. Bye-bye.
Bye.